Hey, it's me. I'm early again. Got a bunch of stuff we're going to do tonight, so this afternoon. So I thought, why don't I teach a few things? I found those books I was telling you about Thursday night. Next Saturday is my daughter's 40th birthday. So they're doing a little party here at Verona Beach. I just ordered her a big old present. She's going to be surprised. So I won't be here, but what I'm going to do is the winners of the challenge and the ATC, I got 5 cards so far, I'll announce them Sunday. I'll just pull the cards, I'll come on here and do the thing. If anybody else gets any, I'll put them in there. And we'll do the challenge prizes. And what else? So no class Saturday. Sorry about that. So I'm going to be cooking, and then we got company, and then I got a little bit of a ride. My daughter's going to drive me. And anyways, so I was telling you about my friend or our mentor, Heidi, from Paint Party Headquarters. And this is the book. I know it's backwards. Your dreams don't die, they haunt you. So I'm going to do a little reading out of that. Then I don't know if I've ever read you guys anything out of Unicorn. Find Your Unicorn Space. And so I'm just going to do just a little bit out of each one. It's not going to be no big reading. Give everybody a few minutes. I'm going to put you up on this group here. And in the meantime, I got a whole bunch of my mediums out. I got impasto and gesso, and I got heavy gel mat. I got a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to show you, talk to you about mixing. And we're going to make some ghosts on this with a spoon. Then on the small ones, I was trying to figure out what I could use. We're going to use my finger. Could use yours, but it would be kind of hard, so we'll use my finger. Then I did these little tiny canvases I found on Amazon. There's 10 or 12 in a pack for like $10. They're little. These are great little gifts. I did them in purple. We're going to do the pumpkins on that and the ghosts on the black ones. So that's what we're doing today. So I'm going to give you a little description of everything we're going to do. So I'm going to start out with the readings, but I'll wait a few minutes to get on. Let me see if I'm up here, because you know how long it takes me forever. I got it, look at that. Yep, that's me. Those brown pointy glasses that I love, I wear them everywhere. When I first got them was the thrill, I love them. I don't know where they are, and I'm just about ready to give up. You know, the minute I order another pair, they weren't cheap. They weren't real bad, but they'll turn up. I had 2 pairs of red ones, they broke, so I fixed both of them. So those are from a really, not too happy about that. So let me start with the unicorn space. Now, I got it marked off. I'm going to just read it to you. What is, just a little, sorry. Is everybody and their brother on today? Stop for a minute, I'll give it a second. I'm telling you. Satellites, or they're saying solar flares, actually, that they're thinking. We have them all the time, but they've been out most of the other day, and finally went back on like 10 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night. Hey, Joellen. Alright, so if you didn't watch the beginning, we're going to do a thing about some thickening paints, and we're going to do ghosties and some punky unkins. So I'm going to read out of this book. I'm pretty sure this one is in my Amazon store. It's by Eve Rodsky. She wrote, didn't she write for favorite writers in her list? So she's been around the block here. But I'm just going to read this little paragraph out of here. I'm hoping you guys can see this. It's breaking up again. Creativity redefined as unicorn space is the active and open pursuit of self-expression in any form, built on value-based pursuit with the world. Whether it's creating art, expanding your knowledge within your area of expertise, or developing new skills, your unicorn space is that thing that makes you uniquely and vibrantly you. But like the mythical equine that inspired the name, it doesn't exist until you give yourself permission to reclaim, discover, and nurture. And I've told you about, I like everybody to try different things, because all of it goes, I tell you, you get this little backpack, and all of it goes in the backpack, and all the things you learn from fancy cooking to, I don't know, even just like if you rollerblade or whatever, it all goes in there. You know, it's all part of your personality, and it comes out in your art, whatever it might be. The hills are alive. Then in the book, there's this little exercise. Got my book in there. And what it is there's 3 parts to it, which I really can't do it on here. Maybe I'll put it in the thing one time here. But if you get the book, it's about jot down a few things that your curiosities, your interests, and influence, past and present. Don't overthink it. Just start writing things down. People, places, traditions, experiences that touch you or move you in some way. And they need not to be related at all. Number 2, now mix them up. Can you connect the dots, make associations, take a creative leap between presumably unrelated interests and create something new? That's where I tell you about trying different things. If you take your vision far and wild and even weird, what's in the batter? What could you create with all the ingredients of your life? And then it goes on to say, if your batter looks like a lump of nothing, let it sit, or let it rise, and then come back to it later. To me, creative goal setting means being proactive about finding reflecting time. A lot of people journal. I don't journal like I should. I don't really do it. I take notes, and there is no shortcut for that. She absolutely is right. Give yourself permission to set time, space, and boundaries for reflective exercise. That includes creating. So it just goes to show you that you can, all the things in your life influence your art. So, you know. And then Heidi Easley is part of PPHQ, which is who I went to. I was with another group of people, and I ended up going to her because I wasn't feeling like I wanted to, you know, start my own business. And she's all about paint parties, but so much more. So she writes in the beginning of her book that I have this shirt. I was in one of her classes, or I don't know, one something or some program. She does a lot of, you know, like things like I do, gets you motivated. And it's called To the Dreamer. This is a forwarder of her book. And you see it's your dreams don't die, they haunt you. Not that I'm like going to looking to be a millionaire, because her motto is lessons from a millionaire entrepreneur. And she went bankrupt and everything. She had a heart problem. You know, she still has to like watch her weight and stuff, I think, and she's all the stuff she has to do. So anyways, in the book, in the beginning, it says, To the Dreamer. I have this t-shirt. This is exactly what it says. You are magically made, overly optimistic, and perfectly placed to bring hope to the world. It's on the back of my shirt. That's what it says. Okay, so by dreaming out loud and unapologetically, you unconsciously allow others to do the same. So you keep your head in the clouds and take those risks because people need you more than you know. You see each soul as a piece of a grand puzzle. Without the dreamer, the world is incomplete, like a missing star from the night sky. However, when the dreamer realizes that it's okay to choose happiness and chase irrational sparks of imagination, they're also creating a path for those yet to come. So cheers to you, the magically made, the overly optimistic, and the perfectly placed. This says it on the back of the shirt. Cheers to you, the magically made, the overly optimistic, and the perfectly placed. I'll show it to you. I wear it. You guys don't even know. It's on the back, but part of it's like right here. It says paint party. But anyways, that's from Heidi. So that's the beginning of her book. Both good books. Both very good books. If you're looking for some inspiration, you can just go through and do one little test, or or just pick up a few quotes that make you feel better. Those are 2 good ones too. All right, so I thought what we would do is we would go over some of the stuff that I use and how you use them, or how you could use them. This is a gesso that I use now. I used to use I use other ones, like the more expensive stuff, but this stuff is just a lot more reasonable. 16 ounces. It's like around $20 in my other brand there, my good brand. But this is Handy Art acrylic gesso. And this one actually is pretty good. I got one I didn't like. It wasn't thick enough. This one's pretty thick. The problem with using gesso with any color is it's going to lighten it up. Now we're going to do ghosts tonight. So it's not going to matter because they're going to be white. So this has got a pretty good thickness. Doesn't stand up a lot, but it's pretty good. Opposed to like a paste. Hold on. So this is your gesso. And this is basically to smooth out your canvas. But they have colored gessos, and you can tint gesso. And you can use gesso in all kinds of applications that you want to either thin something out or thicken it up. Or smooth something out, should I say. And then I got my impasto, which is basically clear gel medium. And I use this to thicken my paints, but I also can use this to adhere things to a canvas that I want to, make sure they're going to stay. So this is thicker than my liquid one. All right, this is thicker, so I use it to thicken my paints. And this one is impasto. Now, do I have one here? Deco Art makes a line of colored heavy body paints called impasto, but that's just the name. It's not really what it is, but it is. Impasto means like thick paint or thick something. So they make colored ones, but these can be tinted. All these can be tinted, but remember, like with just the gesso, if you put any kind of color in, it's going to be lighter. So now I got golden. I like golden too, and I use theirs. I had it's my paste. I had the paste. I've been rearranging things. I put things away. But the paste is, I think, we're going to use tonight. Here's the, no, where is it? I had it out. Where's the paste? Well, I guess we'll use the gesso. I had the paste out. So I can use this one too. The heavy gel mat. This is just like what it sounds, heavy. And it's gel, so it's like got a more of a translucent look to it, but it's pretty thick. Can you see how thick it is, how it comes out? It's clear though. It's kind of got a clear look to it. And they can be tinted too. It's paint, it can all be tinted. This is about gone. This is modeling paste. And this is the same, this is really pretty thick, but you can't see through it. You know, it's like you can't see through it. It's pretty thick. Get like a little rougher texture than obviously than the gel. The gel would be thinner. Okay, what did I do with it? All right, so what I'm going to do is, if you remember a few years ago or last year, I did these on the box canvas. I kept them in my Halloween stuff, my fall stuff. So we're going to do that on these little tiny ones that I found. But we're going to start out doing these ghosts. So the ghost is kind of a little bit of an experiment for me. I was going to do it in the other group. I was going to do a big one. But I thought, why not do some small? What I seen this kid that was slow, autistic. I'm not sure what was wrong with him. Hey, Lori. But he did it with his fingers. And it came out really cute. I don't know if he used his thumb wide. It's pretty good size. So I'm going to do a big one with a spoon. Because the original one was done with a spoon. You see it's very hot right now, this particular painting. But I'm going to do this one like that. And then the small ones, the ATC side, I'm going to do with my fingers. So this is a little bit of experiment, so we're going to have fun doing that. And I'm going to mix the black paint. I don't want to use the clear gel. I think I'm going to use either the impasto or the thickening paste as soon as I find it. Now remember, if I use the gesso, it's going to lighten it up, but I have to have something to make it thicker. But you could also make, if you haven't got anything, hey Lori, if you haven't got anything to thicken anything up with, you can use 2 tablespoons of baking soda, or 3. 2 is usually good. 1 tablespoon of white Elmer's glue, just plain old Elmer's glue. Or I also use the one like the Gorilla Glue. Just use one of those, and then a tablespoon, and then you use a tablespoon of white paint. Could use any color. But usually it's white paint, you tint it later, but you could use another color. So it's 2 things of baking soda. Some people use cornstarch. 1 tablespoon of glue and 1 tablespoon of baking soda. Now, or white paint. Now I just throw it in a bowl and I just keep mixing it up until it looks like the way I want it. Now if I want a little smoother, it's not so thick. If I want it to stand up, you're going to add more baking soda. So you just do it till you get it and just play with it till you get the way you want it. Pretty simple. Let's see what else. Well, what the heck? I hit it again. Found it. This is the Deco Art one. It's the modeling paste. You can see that it's backwards. But basically, when you make the baking soda one, if you look at this one, it has a gritty texture. It kind of reminds you of baking soda. It really does. So either one is fine. So I'm gonna do this big one first. We're gonna play. So that's the rundown. You get impasto, gesso, modeling paste, and what's it? Modeling gel. So there's a lot of other products out there. These are just, you know, a few. Let me get this out so you can see I use the black. I am going to take the modeling paste and anything to mix it with. I'm going to use use a palette knife, whatever you got, or a spoon, or you know, if you got a popsicle stick or whatever you want to use, a knife. And I want to make enough to make like maybe 5 ghosts. And some white paint out of my sriracha bottle. It's so funny. It's finally starting to get stuck up, and I haven't used it before. The paint that's in here, this white paint that's in here, this is the paint I use in my classes, is a lot thicker than Deco Art. I mean, just like a lot thicker. So you need something that's going to come out consistently, you know. How much do I want? A little bit more? Maybe a little bit. Okay. I think that's enough. And then I'm going to mix these together. Now, if this is a little too thick, you could add more paint, or you could even add a little bit of water. That's okay too. They do have, both products have water in them. And it's going to be a little lumpy and bumpy. So really try to get it as smooth as you can. Doesn't got to be 100%, smooth as you can get it. I'm going to add a little bit of spray on some water, because the water that's in my cup for my brushes is a little dirty. It always is. I keep busy. Yeah, it's nice. I didn't think it was going to be nice today, so I did a bunch of stuff yesterday, so now I'm pooped. It's beautiful out. I did a few things, not much. I'm just wore out. I think I'm ready for winter, but I got stuff to do. What have we done? I need a kid. My grandson, I thought, would be over here. I didn't know his car was having problems, so I guess him and his sister, I guess they're going to go and look to buy him a car. He's never had a car, so I don't think he even has credit, so let's see how that goes. A little more water, a little too thick for me. So I think you got the idea. Now, Lori did this, and she used Famous Painter's paint, and they're pretty good, but I don't think anybody wants to really get into that unless you're going to do some really big paintings or a lot of painting. Gaffrey is really good. His products are awesome. For something small like this, I would just do this. See, that's a little smoother now. I'm going to add a little more water. There you go. That's a little better. That's a little better. So I'm going to take just the tip of this, and we're going to make some ghosties. So concentrate this on the end, and we're going to make some ghosts. I don't think it's a good idea to go over this a bazillion times. Do the best you can do. Do one right here. Stuff's still kind of breaking up. It's okay. Might have to fix it with my brush. It's alright though. You want it on the thick side, so Got a lot of lumps and bumps. It's alright. So I got like 6 here, right? Let me get a little brush. I'm just gonna have to get some of the lumps out here. I think we'll try a different medium now. Maybe we'll try the gesso. No, maybe we'll try the gel, maybe the gel medium. We're going to give this little eyes. It'll look like ghosts. I promise it'll look like ghosts. It'll look like ghosts when I get done. So I'm just smoothing it out because the stuff is a little lumpier than I wanted it. And this is how you learn. This is how you learn. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. You ever hear that saying? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Alright, so now you got all these little ghosty heads, and I'm going to take and give them some little eyes. First, let me just kind of arrange these guys a little bit better. Little ghosties. Alright, so I'm going to take a little brush, and I'm going to go into the black. Just plain old black paint. I got to get some more right here. And I'm going to make little eyeballs. We're going to do some small ones. We're going to try a different medium this time. We're going to go just like this. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Just drop it in. Little ghosties. I think I can adjust some of this with this black. I can do some adjusting. Yes, I can. It's pretty good. Like I said, it's kind of a kid's project, so it ain't gotta be perfect. No, not necessary. I'm just a big kid myself, so it's okay. I just thought it was great. Alright, so we got a whole group of ghosts here now, some wonky ghosts. We're going to do the small ones. We're going to use my finger, but I think I'm going to change up. Yeah, I love Gaffrey. I think I'm going to change up what we're using. Look, they look great in the dark, right? You could add a few ghosts. You could do it on a great big one, too. This would be cute, like on a table, though. Alright, so now let's do these small ones. Let's make a different mixture. And I'm not going to use this big spoon. I'm going to use my fingers, so I don't need to use this. I'm going to put this away. Put it in the water because I don't want it to get, like, you know, I want to use it again. Alright, get my wet towels. Yeah, so next Saturday I'm not going to be here. So Sunday I'm going to pull the prizes and stuff and announce the winners. And my daughter's 40th birthday. My baby is 40. My baby. Oh, I don't believe it. I almost didn't have her. It was 5 years in between. I wasn't supposed to have any more. Chances of me getting pregnant were pretty slim. Well, she found a way through. And she didn't come out the right way either. Yeah, all the time getting around. It took 4 days. My daughter said they would never happen. Well, she's 40, so we're doing a party of our own of age. This is where we did our 40th anniversary, my kid's favorite beach. So we're gonna do it there, and I bought her a beautiful present. I can't tell you what it is, but it's such a deal. She's gonna love it. So, anyways, I'm gonna make grasshopper salad in the morning, and they gotta drive me out there. It's too far to drive. So I'm gonna be gone all day. So Sunday I'll pull all the prizes, and it'll be fun. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do anything. I don't know yet, but it depends on how tired I am. Yeah. So let me get some more weight out. And I think we're gonna try something different here. Let's try the gel one. I think it might be a little smoother. Ain't a lot of mixing involved. Let me see. This one, right? My impasto one. Impasto. Yeah. If I can get it open. I always have hard to get. I do this. And then, ta-da, it comes right open. It's a little trick. I do it with all of them. See, but this has, the impasto one here, has like a, kind of like, almost like jello-like consistency. It's pretty smooth. So we're going to do that one with some white. See if that's a little bit smoother. This is how you learn. So you can see me do this. Turn around. So I just put some on there. I'm going to mix some white in. This is what I use when I'm doing my paintings, my thick painting, my palette knifing. This is what I use. So yeah, it definitely has a better, not so lumpy. The paste is good though, because I use that too. That's really good for like real scratchy looking stuff. So a lot of texture. Put it on with different brushes and different applicators. I got all kinds of stuff here you can put on with. See, isn't that smoother? It's almost like the Gaffrey paint. Theirs is different. It's kind of plasticky, but it's already pre-mixed and it stays mixed. It isn't like this stuff. You gotta mix everything. That's what's nice about the Gaffrey. So I'm gonna use my fingers. Are they clean? Yeah. I've just painted the back of these little ATC size. I cut. This is watercolor paper. Right, I painted in black. I'm just gonna take my finger. Oh, that's much better. And we're just gonna make little ghosties. Now you could do just one, but in the original one, they're all like overlapped, and that's what makes it really kind of fun. A little rounder head here. Little ghosts. Kind of turn him a little bit. I think 6 is good. Like this, you can adjust with the brush too. Now we're good with the fingers. I think it will take a little bit higher though. Let's go a little bit higher. Could line these right up. Do a bunch of them. This would be a good project for the grandchildren too. You could even just do regular paint. You wouldn't have to do anything fancy. Or make that baking soda one. Kids love this stuff. Oh my god, they love this stuff. Finger paints. You're never too old for finger paints, are you? Not me. Just kind of play with this a little bit. Yeah, so hopefully you guys will try those books. I will make sure they're on. I know the unicorn one is, but I'm not sure about the other one. Like I said, I'm going to take some, I'm going to kind of adjust these a little bit with my black, with a little tiny brush and that black paint. You can kind of fix up anything you're not crazy about. Let's send him out too. Give them some eyes. Choo, choo. Make sure you get a nice thick glob of paint here. Oop, a little too big. It's okay. Smooth them out a little bit. Then we'll do our pumpkins. Could even give it, once they're dry, I could give these little purple hats, little witches hats. Wouldn't that be cool? Oop, this one's a little wonky. That's okay. That's okay. It's good fun. Good fun. Just a question, you guys. If anybody here having some electric bills from hell, do you know my bill was like double from last year? I don't know if you guys have had that problem. Everybody's been kind of talking about it around here. And I have one less air conditioner because my granddaughter wasn't here, so. And she was here doing a lot of, my grandson's girl he lives with, the lady, it's my daughter's girlfriend, had no washer and dryer for a while. So he came over here, so now I don't have any of that and my bill is higher. So it doesn't make any sense to me, but anybody else notice their utilities that went up? Mostly electric. And my daughter, who's never home, bill was like 40, was like 80, so hers doubled too. And she says, I'm home less now than I was before. I see, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me. So look at all these ghosties we got. These are a little more texturized. These are a little smoother. So, good fun. A little black one's perfect. But I think little purple hats on these would look kind of cool, wouldn't they? You see, this one's probably room for the hats. Let me see if I can get some little purple. I get this purple paint over here. I love this purple. I don't know if I can get it again, but I love it. Put little hats on them. Little hat on this one. Well, we put a bit of the white in. Then we'll do our little pumpkins. Isn't that cute? Oh, it's got a little hat. There you go. It's different. I gotta get a life. Okay, so now we are going to mix our impasto with orange paint so we can get this look. And we're going to do those little canvases that I found on Amazon. It's going to be in somebody's mailbox. Oh, I kind of want to do some of those. Let's do some more on here. Get my purple out. Let's do some little hats. So I have a couple projects I got started for you guys, and last year in my paid group I had done a hat, but I seen something else that's kind of cool that we can do on here with those hats. So I'm working on that one too. There you go. It's kind of cool, right? I'm kind of afraid to go into this thicker stuff here, but that kind of gives a little fun. You could probably even add some, maybe add some bats, you know. Some little bats would be fun too. That's pretty cool. So if anybody does any of these projects, whenever you guys ever do them, always post them. You might get a prize. You never know, right? So here's the little purple ones, and here's the one I did like that. So I don't remember if I mixed it. Seems like I mixed this, but I don't believe I have an orange gesso, or more than likely it'd be in pasta. I think all I have is purple, orange, pink, blue. I don't think I have an orange one. I thought maybe I had an orange one, but we're gonna have to mix that. So I got this Americana paint, Deco Art, and I'm going to put it right on my palette. And I'm going to mix it with the Impasto Clear Gel Acrylic Medium, which I also use anyway, so I always use it for my thick painting. So, but Liquitex makes one I use a lot, but it gets a little pricey all the time using that stuff. So I just discovered this. I have used another one like this, and this one's pretty right where I want, you know, and it dries clear if you don't put any color in it, which is what I want. Whereas, like I said, with the paste, you get like a creamy look, and the gesso too, unless you buy a color gesso. The only other gessos I've ever seen dark are they're either gray or black. And, you know, for obvious reasons, you're going to make stuff darker. So I'm just going to mix this together. Got a 3 for today. You got a couple inspiration quotes and some paintings and some lessons on mixing mediums. A whole bunch of other stuff you can learn. I have never tried it, guys. I put that on there because I like 100 years ago, I remember I painted slow at one time, I guess. And I remember using something. So I watched a couple of artists, and I posted on that, if you guys seen it. It's what they use to slow down their drying time. Now, me, I paint fast, but I could use that for different things that I'm doing when I'm painting. So I think I'm going to buy one for me. And I'll let you know how it goes. Alright, so now, oh shoot, I put the lid back on. I'm going to, I've painted the background purple, obviously, first, but you could do any color you want. Right here. Any color you want. And I kind of want a shape. So you'll find with stuff like this, especially the small stuff, if you have either a piece of chalk or a pencil. See, chalk might show up better for you guys. The chalk is right here. White chalk, always white chalk, because colored chalk will mix with your paint. And just get a basic shape. You can do it either way. You can do it this way too. It'll just help you out a lot. Then you know where to put your paint. So you're not using a brush. But you could use a brush too. You can use a brush with thick paint. It just gives you the same look, just a little more controlled. So it's up to you. You could do both. Now I'm going to take that and I'm going to just smooth it on. And you're just following the shape. You're using mostly the tip of your palette knife, just a tip. If you go all the way up here, you can accidentally get it somewhere you don't want it. So try to keep it to the bottom of the end of and the bottom of your palette knife. Kind of scratch through too and give it a little shape. I'm going to kind of bring this around a little bit. Don't be afraid to move your canvas. This is kind of small, so some of you guys might want to do a little bigger canvas. This is they're 5x5s. Box professional canvas. Get it, Michael's. Come in the 9-packs. I have the bigger ones. At the time I couldn't get that size, but I'm going to wait because I'm trying to use up stuff I have, you know. Although I did order these, so for different reasons. Alright, so now we got ourselves a little tiny pumpkin. It ain't got to be perfect. In fact, the little wonkier it is, usually the better. So you're just kind of directing it, just like you would a paintbrush, but you're using the tip of your palette knife. I just think the orange and purple look awesome together. We'll let that dry a second, and then we're going to put the foot, you know, the little leaves and stuff, right? And I finished the leaves with not only paint but with the Pasty pen to give it a little more definition. Who's on here? Pasty pen to give it a little more definition. Oh, a whole bunch of these. $80. Mine was $173. It was down. It was $200 last month. We're being hit hard here. My house is all electric. The only thing that's gas is my dryer. No, my stove, which I don't like electric stove, so I like the gas stove. But $178. It was $200 last month. Last year it was under $100. It was down. It was $200 last month. It's double because last year. The only thing that's gas is. And it's just me. And mind you, it's a trailer, and it's all everything's brand new, insulated, all insulated windows, the whole 9 yards. So it's just crazy. And it's probably New York State, but it's just. I was like. 1 month was 140, which was high for last year. And then I had one 140, then last month it was 200. Everybody's bitching. And I guess it's going to happen nationwide. So, crazy. My daughter's was around $80. She lives in a 3rd floor, loft, tiny apartment, never turns the heat on. And she's like premenopausal or something. She does take the air on, and it's only on when she's home though. So, yeah, it's. The only thing I use now, I got it down $28. The only thing I use now is I only use one air conditioner, but now I'm not putting it on during the day. I used to have it on all day. But I have COPD, so I have to have the air on, and I have an oxygenator that goes into my COPD machine, so I can't go without them at night. The air conditioner I can't have on during the day, and I have one tiny fan and one ceiling fan and one fan in here, and all those fans keep it's a little dinky tiny little air conditioner, keeps the whole place cool. But now I can't run it all day anymore, so now we're done with it anyway. She's going to take it out, but it's nothing that I'm doing wrong, you know what I mean? It's like I said, it's brand new 2024 mobile home, so I had like extra storm windows put on, or doors, so I'm afraid they're right, it's going to just keep going up. So, whatever. But I do have like a lot of electronics. I have a freezer I bought, a little tiny freezer. I got like an iPad, two Kindles, a laptop, so I use a lot of. I don't watch a lot of TV just at night, but they said the two number one things that use a lot of juice is the air conditioner. And what was the other thing? I don't know. I mean, you can only go. I mean, me and my husband started, but we had 120 years old house. It was old, and every year we would spend money on stuff to insulate it. And every year I says, Rick, why do we even bother? So we ended up buying a big pellet stove because the coldest rooms were in the front of the house, but the windows were gorgeous. If we replaced those windows, it would have made the house look shitty. So I says, something? That's just a beautiful pellet stove. So that's what we did. And for what we paid, we actually probably saved money because it was like just ridiculous. No matter what we did, the bill went up. I said, we're just wasting our money. You know what I mean? So now I got a brand new trailer, and it's still a problem. I mean, it's the I knew the electric was going to, I told my daughter right from the bed. I said, the electric's going to be a problem because everywhere I ever lived and I had an electric dryer, I had a problem. Now, it wasn't that high for a while, but then my grandson had to use it. So what I've been doing is I just been hanging my clothes, and I only put them in like my t-shirts or whatever. It has wrinkles for 10 minutes. Ridiculous, right? And I don't mind. I don't use that much laundry. I mean, it's just me. I do my sheets and my towels once a week, but So I'm cutting back a little bit on that kind of stuff. But how far back can you go? I mean, come on. Other than getting solar panels. So everybody's bitching up here. It's gonna be, and then the winter's coming. Oh my God, I got electric heat. I have I bought like one of those fireplace room heaters, and I'm going to use it because I don't like getting cold, so I don't know. We'll see. So there you go. So we got our little, so I guess it's going to go up all over the nation they're talking about. Somebody else was talking about it. I don't know if it was Seattle or something. Something happened. Alright, so now we got them on. I can hit them with the blow dryer, but let me just have, it'll make like a little crust on the top, and then I won't have to worry about hitting them. Yeah. Which it sounds like a lot. I know it's high because $80 is great, but in my old house, my winter bills, after I got that, didn't go over $300 for a while. Then they started going up to $400. I had almost a $600 bill, but it's an old house, and I had insulation, everything I had to do it, but all kinds of stuff. But it's just that it was an old house, so the pellet stove was the best solution. Then I kept the heat on 68 all the time in the winter, and I kept it around 400. It's terrible, right? My sisters are real low. Her house is old, and they had a fire, and after the fire, they had a bunch of stuff done to the house, so her bills are pretty low. It's just her and my dad. Now I haven't asked her how her bill is, so. And I have one of those water pump heaters that pumps, which is cheaper. So I said, I don't know where else I'm going to cut back. So we'll see. I got the bill down $28, so. Nick, it's mighty cold up here. There's no way I can live without that furnace. No way. So now I'm going to do like just some leaves. I'm going to need some greens, couple greens. I got this Kelly green. Just a little bit of that. I'm going to need some yellow. That's the way it is. They say that one of the reasons, I don't know if this is just because, a lot of things in the news right now, a lot of it's not true. Or you got to investigate, you practically got to be a scientist. And the thing is that, which is true, they got there's 2 or is it 3? I think it's 2 new AI centers, and they're using some ridiculous amount of electric. And so the rumor is, or it's been speculated, I'm not sure if it's one or both or whatever, is that that's why they got to redo the grid. And guess who's going to pay for that? It's probably true. So there you go. Won't be no bazillionaire, that's for sure. So I'm just going to make some little curly cues. I'm mixing that yellow and green together. You can watch me. I'm mixing the yellow and green, just kind of sticking that in here. And the green. Now you could do this with a Posca pen if you're not feeling very brave. I'm just mixing the colors together. And whatever happens, happens. Not worried about it. Because I'm going to go over this with a Posca pen. Yellow and green. So I read all that sciencey stuff too, so I'm always like interested. Now, really can't go on the side. There's not much of a side here, but you can kind of go over this a little bit if you want to. Of course, we get a lot of power from Canada, and they're like pissed off at us. Excuse me. They're mad at us, and I don't blame them. That's pretty good, right? Now you could put a leaf or 2 down here if you want to. Just kind of fill it in. It's up to you. It's kind of cute. But this one we're going to have a lot more stem on it, right? I kind of like this side though on it. Just do my little triangle, right? You do a triangle. A long time for I learned how to do these really cues without end up with this little funny corner. It takes a little practice. Let's put a little bit of a, oops, let's do it this way. A little bit of a leaf on here. Screw it up. It's alright. Just do a big leaf. Do a big leaf. There you go. Well, these little ones are kind of fun. I'm liking this one. Kind of cute. This will make a great little gift for somebody. It would. Kind of excited about Jackie's birthday. I ain't been to the beach and I couldn't tell you how long. Well, it's just Oneida Lake. It's one of our, we have a lot of lakes up here. A lot of lakes. So it should be fun. Jackie is a giver. She's the one that manages Marshalls. She's always been overly generous and a lot of fun to be around. And it does not surprise me if they wanted to throw a party. It wasn't really my idea. So, you know. And whenever someone's had a problem, she was a social worker, you know, that kind of stuff. Or they needed something, you could, and you and me can depend on my Jackie. God is my witness. My child is a blessing. So it did not surprise me. I get a phone call. Mom, we're doing a party. My oldest daughter. And her best friend's in on it. And they were going to make a surprise. And somebody, you know how that goes. Somebody forgot to tell somebody. And next thing you know, it's not a surprise anymore. It's hysterical. But she'd like give the shirt off her back when she don't have it. But Mom, they need this. I'm like, all right. I'd help. So she has a lot of good friends. She doesn't have many, but she's got some good friends. Everybody loves her. She said, oh, that people don't like me, this and that. So she had to go in this program for college to learn disabilities. And it was a summer program. It was so stupid. And she's like, oh, no one that likes me and this and that. Now she has tons of confidence. She really always did, but she didn't think so. So as we're leaving the college, it was a secret college, they're hanging out the dorm. If there wasn't 50 kids, they're like, bye, Jackie! Bye, Jackie! That's the kind of person she is. So now she's a manager of the store. And I might add, it looks like she's going to get more promotions. She's really getting up there. And they love her. Her employees, he tells them off and they still love her. She's just the same kind of person, you know? Isn't that funny? Oh, so funny. So there's this one. So we're having a party. I'm kind of excited about it. Anything to get out of the house, right? Here's this one. And I'm going to highlight these. I'm going to give it a few minutes. We'll highlight it with the, here's the big one I did last couple years ago, or last year, I don't remember. I love these where you can kind of do the sides. It's so fun. That was in my Halloween stuff. And then we got our ghosties with the hats. We could do orange hats too, right? Oh, I messed one up. Shoot. This one. You can just do like one if you want to do it into one of those. You know, we'll do an orange hat. If you want to do just for ATC, you don't have to do a bunch. I messed up his eyes. Just messed up the eyes. They don't always come out perfect, you know. So anybody that's on here late, make sure you go to the beginning and watch the thing on. I talk about some inspiration stuff from those two books, which I know the one is on there. The other one I'm going to check. Unicorn Space should be on there. Alright. And then Heidi's book, Your Dreams Don't Die, They Will Haunt You. I'm not sure it's in there. I got to go look. And I'm going to check on some of these mediums too. See if they're in there. But like I said, you can make your own medium. You can use 2 either cornstarch or baking soda, 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. I think maybe even 3, 2 or 3, and then 1 tablespoon of paint, and white paint, and 1 tablespoon of glue. Oh my God. Cute, huh? Let me get my pasta pen out. So anyways, guys, so it's going to be fun next week. I got to make, does anybody know what grasshopper salad is? You guys know what that is? It's become quite popular. I've been making it for maybe 40 years, 30, 40 years. And it started out, I had donated money to, I'm not Catholic, but a lot of my friends are Polish and Catholic churches, and you get a cookbook for the donation. And I had quite a collection. I said I'll get, the whole bookshelf is gone that was in the basement because of that car. But and one of the cookbooks was a thing called grasshopper salad. I says, the name alone, because I have one kid, my oldest one's so fussy to get her to eat. It's something that they would probably eat. If it had a cute name or it was a strange color, that one, she would eat it. She all bad food. Not anymore, she's a nurse. But you guys have probably heard of it. It's just pistachio pudding and like little mini marshmallows and crushed pineapple, whipped cream, Cool Whip, which I'm not a big fan of, but I'll eat it in that. And I put coconut in it, but I think the original recipe called for nuts, but my husband can't have nuts. So anyways, everybody always loves it, and I get sick of making it. So I do make it if they want it. So that's what I'm making. Well, it was originally called grasshopper salad, and it was in the Sacred Heart. They have a big cathedral here called Sacred. It's huge, big, old. They have a school next to it. They closed it. And they were little when I got that recipe, and the oldest one's like almost 50, 47. Yeah, so grasshopper salad. I heard it called other stuff, but that's what we always called it. I'm looking for a white Pasty pen, guys. I gotta order some pens. I don't know if I got a big one. I think this is big enough. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I don't think I'm doing anything else, but God only knows. My kid's talking into all kinds of stuff. You never heard of it? Oh, it's so easy. There's a few tricks that make it extra fluffy. You just make sure you drain everything into a colander. And I've added cherries, but that'll make it orangey. You don't want that. You can add little oranges if you want, but usually it's big can of crushed pineapple, a big can of fruit cocktail, everything's strained. And after you put those into a colander, then after it's drained real good, I put it into a big bowl, and I add 1 bag of marshmallows and the pistachio mix, and then I kind of mix together, and then I put some coconut in, and I just let it sit for a while so it absorbs everything. If there's any water on it, I drain it off, and then I put in a whole container of Cool Whip, and it's good. My kids love it, and I'll just kind of decorate the top with some oranges and coconut sometimes if I'm being fancy. Kids love it. It's the simplest thing. Grasshopper salad. I had several of the churches around there. God knows the Baptist ones weren't staying open. It was all Catholics where I'm from, and I'm not Catholic. So I killed 3 pastors. Well, one was Episcopalian. We got married, and it was across the street from his parents' house. They didn't go to church, just they happened to be there. So I went to that for a while, and then later on I went to another one, and the one I grew up with, he died, so so I ended up going to church at all, hardly ever, unless there's a funeral or something. So come on. So that's the way it is. But I don't believe you have to go to church to believe in God or to live a Christian life. Some people think you gotta be there every week. God, I went 3 times a week when I was growing up. They were the worst ones. The ones that went 3 times a week. They were up front and giving money up like it's gonna get them into heaven. It turns out I don't think that works. I'm not necessarily a big God person, but I do believe there's something better. And I do believe that being a good person is a good thing. So, right? Don't you agree? I agree. Well, I'm not finding a white one that's really irking me. Yeah, I think all my white ones have had it, so we're not going to do that today. I'm just going to use a little tiny brush and some white paint. I'm going to take this white paint and I'm going to thin it out with some water. Because I have got to order me... I got to go in lists all the time. I really shouldn't, or I should have ordered those. Posca pens. I was in Walmart's. I figured, I'll look in Walmart's. I think like 6 pens were like, do I want to say $26? $23 for 6 Posca pens. Christmas time last year, I found some deals on them. I got the colored ones when they had the Amazon. I'm a Prime member, and I got like the 6-pack for like $14. So originally, the ones I have, I've had them since I started this like 4 years ago. And I think I got one large white, one small white, one large black, one small black, and I want to say it was around $10. I bet you it's double. I'm going to go look. So I'm just going to do this with some white paint. Grasshopper salad. It's probably just called pistachio salad. You use a box of pistachio, just a small box. A large thing of cocktail, a large thing of crushed pineapple, a small bag, regular sized bag of the mini marshmallows, a container of Cool Whip, and some coconut. Or there's a lot of add-ins you could add. So let me just kind of. Good stuff though. I ain't had it in a while, so I'll probably enjoy it. But usually 1 or 2 scoops and I'm done. I've made it so many times. Oh my god! Everybody's like, I'm like, can I make that? No, we really want. Okay. One of those things I think just about everybody will eat. Some things you can't. Like you guys ever heard of? A lot of people have never heard of it. Cannelli salad or cannelli bean salad. Jack and me love it. It's just cannelli beans. You put different things in it. Good stuff. So good for you. I'll eat that for a meal. I love my beans. I like all the beans. I like them all. I'm not a big black bean. I will eat them, but I'm not a big black bean. But all the other beans, lentils, all that stuff, I love them. So I'm just kind of highlighting this with a white because Diana can't find her pasta pan, or she can't. I think it's dead. I think I threw it away. So there you go. So now you got a cute little couple little things to give out. If you're like me, you ain't got no trick-or-treaters no more. We didn't have none here last year. And my daughter is going with her friends somewhere. She told me, I don't know, somewhere. So last year I just put a movie on. And, and I made myself a pizza. Or did I order a pizza? I forget. And got myself some Halloween candy and pigged out. Yep. I think I still got some up on top of the fridge. So just kind of messing around with it a little bit here. So there you go. So now I get some highlights on everything. There you go. Cute. I really like these little things. I like Halloween. You guys like Halloween? Because I love Halloween. I don't know why. I think it is. I think it's the colors of fall. It's just the colors of fall. I think that's what it is. I messed this one up. I love the colors. I hate being cold though. Oh, I hate it. I'm like abnormally cold. Abnormally cold. I always been cold though. Always. I don't really think I want to live. I lived somewhere warm for 6 years. I lived in Charleston. But let me tell you something. You don't go out in the summer. You don't go out pretty much from, I'd say late April to late October. Because it just is, it's that bad. And then the rest of the year, all the foliage dies, so it's god awful ugly. That's why they all put like fake trees and white gravelin because it's so ugly. And it just rains and 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 rains. And then all the critters come out. Every critter you could think of. So I liked the winter months, and I loved it in the early spring and all the azaleas to be in bloom and all that. And I loved the people, and I loved everything about it. It's just that the winters are not all that great, not really. And then the summers, the people went out like before 9 in the morning. You go for a walk with your kids, or after 7. You couldn't do anything in your yard. I had a spatula like this long, and I would just open the door, turn my burgers over, close the door. It was just, and the air conditioning bills even back then were horrible. It's just too damn hot, So it's great if you live down there in the winter. If you live down there in January, February, March. But a lot of those resort areas, like they said, they put the white gravel in. They try to make everything look pretty. But if you go on the outside of it, kind of swampy looking, real wet and damp, especially Charleston. It was just a big wet mop. I remember one time I took my daughter's little Mickey Mouse pool, those little round pools. After the rain, I pulled up the hole, all the mold had eaten all the paint off it. I had moved from a trailer to a cinder block, and you had to paint every year because the mold would just creep up the cinder block. So that's why a lot of people have houses up. up, you know, and it's all red clay. So you dig down, you have red clay on all your stuff, you know, or sand. And I remember going through a lot of breaks, and the guy says, well, we had a lot of sand down here. There's a lot of sand in the clay. So I did do a little gardening, but it was different than the kind of gardening here. I mean, they had like 3 growing seasons, which is wonderful, but, you know, they have a lot of like water moccasins and frogs this big and roaches that big. I mean, it's like real super big critters. Oh, God. I can go on with the stories about that, but anyways, I don't want to be anything real hot. So there's these guys. I'll put these down. I'll put pictures of them. Well, you guys, I won't see you next week, but I'll see most of you Thursday night. I'm looking to do another class on YouTube. I will let you know when or where. I got this one painting that I'm going to do in my group, in my, you know, in my garden palette, and I'm thinking I might do something like that or that one live. On the easel, you know, I'm calling it on my easel, but with Diana, that's what I'm calling it. I can't think of nothing else to call it. So, and they tell you when you're in business, try to keep all your stuff similar names, and so people don't get confused. They know it's you, because people get confused. I thought I was watching you, but I wasn't. So I try to use my name and like the Artsy Rose stuff and garden and all that kind of. So they know that they're, you know, and I have similar logos on everything, so people don't get confused. So that's why I said I'll just keep it simple. So I put on my palette with Diana. So you guys all have a great afternoon. I will post these for you, and I will see you during the week. And if whatever I'm doing, I'll let you know. And next Sunday, I will pull the names for the ATC and the challenge winners. So you guys all, hey Kat. So you guys all have a great afternoon. And yeah, isn't the Watergate sale the one with the grapes and the chicken and all that, Joellen? Alright, so I'll see you guys later. I gotta go do stuff, so I'll see you guys later. Have a great afternoon. I hope inspiration finds you wherever you go, and make art, guys. Make lots and lots of art. Bye, guys.